Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the George.Daniel podcast. I am your host, George.Daniel, and we have our lovely co-host.
Hello.
And also in the room, we have our lovely producer, Matt. How we doing? How we doing, guys?
Great. Very good.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
yourself?
How was
How you doing?
everyone's week?
It was a week.
It was a week.
It was a week.
It
Yesterday was a week also.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Definitely busy.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, it's been wild. I'm trying to get everything situated for my Vegas trip. I'm trying to get everything situated for next month. I might be going to New York
Hell
to go
yeah.
visit my mom.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun if it does happen. If not, I'll probably go in August.
Mm-hmm.
Just cause I just
Fucking
want to
do
go see
it.
my mom anyways. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like it's been a week. It's been weird. I really enjoy having you as a co-host.
Thank
for
you.
For real. Like it's been
Thank
really
you.
fun. It
Yeah, super
honestly
dope.
like it alleviates so much like thought process as to like I need to get a guest. I need to do this.
Yeah.
Like I need to then if I get a guest, like make sure
They're gonna show up.
well, not just that, because that's out of our hands, but like make sure that I have questions and like blah blah blah, and make sure that I talk about what they want to like bring up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is really cool. I think we're gonna bring some past guests back on.
Yeah.
And then do it that way, but with a co-host now.
Yeah,
So
cool.
now that everyone got their interview in, you know,
Uh-huh.
they're like, why are you the artist that you are, and
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and all that bullshit. It's kind of bullshit, you know. We got that out of the way, so now we're just gonna bring them back and just like kind of shoot the shit, so you guys can get to know them like on a personal level. You
Yeah,
know?
that's fun.
Sounds dope.
So that's kind of the game plan. So like I said, on like episode 12, like we're just starting. We're just figuring out like the formula, the flow of everything. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. We hit our year in September.
Yeah.
In September next month.
Round of applause for this.
So this episode is actually gonna be the first week of September, I think. No, it's not. No. This is gonna be the last week of August. Next week episode. Stay tuned. We'll bring cakes and shit. You know.
Yeah.
We'll
Cake smash.
We'll do something fun.
I just
for
did
sure.
my son's first cake smash.
And then your birthday's coming up too, right?
Yeah, October 1st.
Oh, okay. We got some time. We got some
time for
time.
that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I wanna like start the same way that we did like holiday specials and things like that. I want to start doing that for
That's
like
fun.
for like us, you
Oh
know?
my God,
Yeah,
yes,
celebrate
that's so
our wins,
fun.
celebrate our
Yeah.
our stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. But outside of that, fucking tonight, actually, right after this, I'm gonna be DJing
Fuego.
at Fuego. The event's called Top Floor. Check it out. It's every week at Sunnyvale. And then
On Wednesdays.
on Wednesdays. Yeah, so that's I love the space. I think that we just need to like maybe promote it a little harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Do some ads, throw it
Yeah.
out there. Nobody really checks for Sunnyvale, first off.
Yeah. It has to be there.
Especially a Wednesday. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like
Yeah.
you have to really like promote that and like really like make it a point that people should go and
Yeah.
want to go.
Show them the space. The space is really nice.
space
They have
is
cute little
really
signage.
nice.
You know, it's really good for photos.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's just like anywhere you go, whether you're San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, there's always people that want to go out. They just don't know where to go out. So for sure, there needs to be some ads for it.
Even if the like it is a weekly show, right? So that's hard unless you have your artists already confirmed a month in advance. It's hard to promote it as if it's a brand new show.
Yeah.
But I think what you guys should do is promote the event itself. So make like a cool 30-second ad essentially and make it an ad for the space for you guys, and then just say that we have house, techno, and bangers.
Yeah.
You know, pull
Yeah.
up if you want, if you're into it. And
Yeah.
that should be it. You don't talk about DJs. Don't talk about like don't go into detail about genres. Just say that this is a thing.
Yeah.
Pull up because it's a weekly thing. Because yeah, you don't really see what. I used to have a mentor who like really talked to me about business and like not necessarily business, but mostly the psychology
Yeah.
behind selling, which was really cool because it's like you could be I think I'm pretty good with my words. You know, I think I can like, even if I don't believe in anything, I can like.
You can sell it.
I can sell something, or I can play devil's advocate and just like da 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 da.
Yeah.
And yeah, like after learning from him, he was very like honest and very like point blank with how I was running even just my social media. Mm-hmm. He would be like, dude, no one knows, like you can post the flyer, cool, but no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
You know, like are you like, you have to, he's the one who really like implemented the idea of, are you a character or are you a personality? Mm-hmm. A character is hard to replicate, you know, like someone like Riff Raff, even someone like Eminem, Snoop Dogg, those are characters. They are who they are, but or Theo Von, right? Like these are characters, but they're themselves.
Yeah.
Or you can be someone like a Tom Segura, or like even sometimes like Diddy or DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled's more of a character.
Yeah.
But like those people who kind of have like catchphrases, or like people like will use their words or their quotes, like a Drake. Mm-hmm. Drake he's like everyone's favorite Instagram like quote. You know what I mean? Like everyone uses his shit. And yeah, so like he was just like, you need to decide what you want to be. He's like, you could be a character with your friends, but online people need to know what they're gonna get. Yeah. You know? And yeah, it was really interesting. And for you, right, you have your business and everything, like online, outside of obviously the product of what you do and the finished product. But do you on TikTok, do you like do anything silly or anything like that?
For like hair?
Yeah.
No.
Even if it's just like
I know.
Yeah, but like I think even
everyone tells me to though.
Yeah.
Everyone says like it's gonna be so good if you did that. Like you have a lot more clientele.
Well, one thing I was thinking about you and how I can maybe help, even if it's just more so suggestions. I'm not gonna do anything for you per se, but I think what you can do is, everyone has before and afters, but just make it different. You know, so if it's like if you have a camera right here, take a before picture and then all of a sudden have her spin, and then the next rotation it's her glammed up or whatever.
Yeah. I wish I could do that.
You can do that. What do you mean?
No, I can't, because I signed an NDA and I'm not able to take photos of a lot of my clients. I have a lot of high-end clientele.
Well, that's fine, but you don't need it for every single one.
No, yeah,
you know
I do have like a lot of their daughters that are totally into that, and they've randomly found me on Instagram, because I do have an Instagram page for hair, and they randomly found me, and they're like I'll get it down the line. Someone will come in and be like, oh yeah, my friend showed me your Instagram. I was like, I haven't showed any of my clients my Instagram, cool, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. Because like even with like for my mom, right? My mom, she's an au pair.
Oh, cool.
You know?
Yeah.
So she's out in New Jersey taking care of an entire family essentially. Yeah. But she doesn't need a resume. The same way that maybe you don't need to do posts, right? Because it's the word of mouth thing, right? So like for her, like the way that she found this family was because the last family she was working for didn't need her services anymore. So they were like, we're gonna help you find a new family who is just starting their family. So now she has like a whole stretch, right? You know, so now she's been with that singular family for, I think the eldest one is 7, so about 6 years now.
Oh wow, yeah.
Since before the pandemic, you know, maybe even more, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like
when they like you, when you're doing a good job, right? Yeah. Totally.
And also like maybe sometimes I think about like taking over the world too often. You know what I mean? Like it's more so like for me it's just like, oh my, like for my mom I've even told her, I'm like, oh, like what if you start an LLC and have like 3 of your friends cleaning the houses for you, right?
Yeah.
And then you pay them a fair wage and everything. But they're getting more houses because you're the seller.
Yeah.
So then you're not just paying yourself as the owner and boss, but you're also paying yourself a commission from all the shit that you sell.
Yeah.
But then she's like, but like for what? She's like, she doesn't need it, you know? I sometimes like battle with randoms, right? Where I'm like, dude, you should be like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like even sometimes like Fully or Dem 2 when they were here, I was like, dude, you guys should be fucking all over the world, like going to Ibiza and all this shit.
Hell yeah.
But sometimes people just don't want that. Sometimes people just want okay being okay.
Yeah.
And that's fine, you know? Like, yeah. Like that's something that I've noticed with myself and some of the people around me. Even my best friends. It's like hard sometimes for me to like overly push them when they want something.
Some people are hustlers and some people are totally just not.
Yeah.
Just like, and it's so weird for hustlers to like look at someone and be like, well, you could be doing this, you could be doing that, and then be like, I'm chill, I'm doing me, you know?
Yeah. And I hate what I hate about myself sometimes is I'll give you advice regardless if you ask for it or not.
That I used to hate that about myself, but I tried
you know what I mean?
hard to stop doing that.
I hate that about myself.
Yeah.
But it's because like I want you to know that I'm thinking about you, 1.
Yes.
2, give a fuck about what you are doing, and also like 3, if no one is thinking about this for you, I will be more than happy to do it for you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna take anything from you, blah blah blah. But I am gonna tell a couple people like, see what I choose. You know?
Oh my god!
You know? Like I am. You know, like the same way that like I've brought up Jorge before. He's the one who runs San Jose Fools.
Yes.
And all that shit. He's from LA.
Yeah.
You know, his ex is Angie.
Oh shit.
So Angie hits up Jorge, so I can like link up with Jorge, so I can introduce him to all these house heads. You know, and blah blah blah. And then once my services weren't needed anymore, you know, like I fell back, you know, which is cool, you know, like look at what he's doing. He's not even from here, and he created something bigger than the city.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Like that's actually super fucking cool.
They have like a whole group now.
Yeah.
It's, well, I mean, him, Chris, and my friend David
needed that. You know?
Well, Chris is a local one though, right?
Mm-hmm. He's the guy behind.
I work with his cousin. His cousin's Brianna, and she works at all the she's been working at a bunch of dispensaries, but she always talks about him. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you started talking about them. I'm like, you're talking about the same Chris.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Small ass world, dude. It's small ass world.
We're all San Jose Fools.
Yeah, we're locals. We're locals, you know. Mm-hmm. And even me, I'm still kind of like not even a local. I'm in Mountain View. You know what I mean?
But you're local.
But I'm local in the sense that like this is where my gigs are. I'm not gonna get gigs. I mean,
there's not very many gigs in Mountain View
at all. I mean, what club? Aurora or Opal or whatever the fuck it's called. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, fuck that. No offense.
Only if you're down though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if
hit
you're
us
down
up.
if you're down to pay for it, sure. But like, they also, they ask a lot from their promoters, which is I don't think is fair.
Yeah.
Especially, I just don't think it's fair when some people like know that they don't have to do as much. Mm-hmm. And they still win, and then they force other people to like work a little harder, you know,
for like no pay a lot of the time,
just for a good night, you know, like, and that's everywhere.
It is. It really is. There's there's some good places in San Jose.
No, for sure,
there's a lot of good places, but
those are the places that are young and are trying to create a name.
Yes.
But like those who are the name, right? Like I was looking at my clips back, looking at my clips because I was like, well, I deleted one for a certain reason. So I was just going through them, making sure that like, you know, like nothing, I'm not, you know, throwing anyone under the bus per se. But I stumbled upon the one where, no, he wasn't on it. But Edna, Snappa, and Fern were on. And I was telling him the analogy of what it's like being a promoter.
Yeah.
And the whole analogy is like if the night is just a singular car, right? Mm-hmm. Like the artists are the wheels, the promoter is the gas, and the club is the vehicle, right? Yeah. So like if I would much rather get into a high-end car, whether that be a Ferrari or whatever, so I would much rather go to a high-end club, whether that be Halcyon, Audio, whatever. Yeah, like these names that like you just Google it and you're like, whatever, just buy a ticket and it's gonna be fun.
Yes.
So
yes.
Right. But and then sometimes sometimes you as a promoter, you need to put diesel in like a fucking Ford like F-150, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and be that premium gas in order just to like get a couple people in the car, you know, and just get people there. And then also like with the artist being the wheels, like there's only each artist with the same analogy of a wheel needs to have some sort of traction, you know? And yeah, maybe the ones in the front are older than the ones in the back.
Yeah.
But everyone's working as a team in order to make the night go, right?
It's so hard, though, with new artists to, like... Because you want to put everyone out there, right? Like, you want to get them out there, and you want everyone to be happy and get, like, a good spot and everything. But it's so hard. Like, I will say, when an artist is super new, and it's, like, their first or their second show, everyone's going to come out. The whole family.
Yeah.
But then... You can't expect that every single time, right?
Okay. When you were a kid, the analogy,
this
right?
This is going to be a bad one.
No. The analogy, because I said that, but it's never even happened to me.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, the analogy, right, of, like, you're a kid and you did your first art project. That's going to go on the fridge. Your third one isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Unless you doubled up in talent, you know, like the first one's gonna be on there, macaroni, glue, whatever, all that shit. That's going on the fridge. The next one probably isn't, and that's okay. But the same way that like the first one, all your homies are gonna show out and like, oh, this is my boy, regardless of if it's just finger painting, but like still like, no, this is my boy. I know him. I know that guy, and like all the homies pull up. But then like third to like the next big move. People stop showing up.
They do.
Like it's gonna be your one like good homie who shows up, your girlfriend, blah blah blah, and then you're like begging people to show up,
which sucks.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like.
But there's another thing is like, if you're really good, you're always gonna have at least 5 people show up for you. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, you're always gonna have like.
I don't even think that. I honestly don't even think that's true.
I feel like.
I think if you're good, you will always have gigs.
This is true.
You know?
Yeah, this is true.
You could be playing at a dead show, and that's fine, and that's not completely your fault. But, like, if you're good, you're going to keep getting those empty rooms, which is good for practice, good for this, good for exposure and everything else. But that doesn't necessarily mean people are showing up.
No, but I know like in that
amazing
situation,
DJs
though, like
nobody comes in.
Okay. Whenever I go to a show and then there's a room where there's like not as many people, I'll always just sit for a little while or just stand for a little while and like see what's going on. Sometimes they're playing some fucking bangers, you know? Like sometimes it's someone really
the room.
fucking good.
Sometimes it's the room. Speaking of fucking the room, right? I'm dabbling in some new arts, some new mediums and shit. I did open mic at work for the first time. So I did stand up. I'm doing like 4 minutes at a time just to kind of like, you know, grease the wheels a little bit, see what I can do.
This man of so many talents over here.
I'm just like, if I had the money, the resources, the opportunity to do everything, I would do it once. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
But like, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's just like, all it takes is for you to sign up. I work there, so I don't even have to sign up. I just have to tell them like, hey, I want to go up. And they're like, all right, what time?
Yeah.
And like that's the cool thing, you know. It's the same as like having like a friend who's a DJ first, and then he's like I think you're ready to like, you know, jump on.
Yeah.
Like you need someone to tell you like go.
Yeah, that's very true.
And at work, everyone's pretty supportive. Everyone is an artist in some form, whether that be like you're a streamer, you're actually a musician, you're a vocalist, or you write poems or whatever it is. Everyone at work is super artistic, which is really like fun for me because they think differently.
Everybody thinks differently.
Yeah, so it's been really fun. But like literally the first time I did I did 4 minutes, I kind of treated it like the podcast. I literally introduced myself like the same way that I introduced the podcast.
Yeah,
I did all that shit, and I was just like, well, like, my goal was the first time. Luckily, because of the podcast, I know what 4 minutes feels like. And because I'm a DJ, also I know how to transition. But I was talking about working in Mountain View, growing up in Mountain View, and then I did this thing where like I even asked the crowd questions. I was just like, so like raise your hand if you are considered a Gen Zer. And then people raise their hands, and then like raise your hand if you're considered what we call a boomer, you know? And then like all the old folks rose their hands.
So there was like a variety of...
It's open mic. It's like literally
open mics are fun.
There's so much fun, and there's so many talented people, you know? But like that's how I opened up my first one, was just trying to gauge like, you know, who's paying attention enough to like, if I ask a question, who's gonna raise their hand? Yeah. The same way that when I do a certain drop, who's dancing? Yeah. Or who's like yelling, or who's like, oh fuck, you know? Those are like little things where I've gathered from DJing to where like I know I can set up something so I can gauge the room. Yeah. And that was really cool. It was really cool to like, even just talking about it right now, I think like in my own head, I'm like, damn, dude, that's cool that I'm even thinking about stuff like that. Yeah. Or able to. And yeah, the first one went really well. It was, we were like, what did I talk about? Oh, I was just talking about like the history of Mountain View, right? Because I asked everyone like, are you a Gen Z, are you a boomer? And then I'm like, I'm a millennial. You know, I wasn't here when there was dirt roads and fucking, you know, prune yards and all this other shit that all the boomers talk about, right? But also I was here when Google was fucking like a street versus a whole city, you know?
Literally, yeah.
So like that's what I brought.
Wait,
like,
you're 26, right?
I'm 26, yeah. So like I was just like bringing all that stuff, and I'm like, dude, I was here like all this shit. Like I was here. I'm like, do you remember when Mountain View used to have a Wiener Schnitzel in downtown, and like you see the Gen Zers look at each other like, Wiener Schnitzel, like what the hell is like the only one that's around me is in San Jose now. Yeah, you know, like it's almost like saying like Sonic, you know, and like Sonic's in Gilroy and like Modesto or whatever. So yeah, it was like that was just, it was really fun. Like the first time was really fun. The first time. The second time I came in. The second time I came in a little hot, you know. I got maybe like this is the problem with me. This is the problem.
Yeah, I fucking got this.
No, the problem with me is first time I do anything, first interaction I meet with anyone, new person, new coworker, blah blah blah, new setting, all that shit. I sit back and I ask questions in order what the room is like. Yeah. So then I can be as comfortable as I can, right? So come around the second time, I didn't do any of the shit that I did last time. I was just like, I was also kind of like a little faded. You know, we went to Molly's and, you know, beer shot, you know, whatever. You and Molly's, man. Dude, it's down the street. I literally like work on the same street as Molly's. So like I just walk there. But yeah, this time around, our AC is broken upstairs. So it's hot as fuck and all this shit. So I come on the mic and I'm like, hey everyone, like blah, blah, blah. My name is Danny. Some of you guys may know me as that barista. Some of you guys also may know me as George.Daniel. But like, I was like, and you guys keep coming downstairs and asking us if we can open up windows and everything. But looking around the room, I don't think we need a reason for you guys to like jump out of a window.
Oh shit. Silence or what?
Dead silence. Because like I think that they
damn, you must have got a lot of depressed people in that room.
Well, I think one open mic brings unestablished artists.
That's a really good joke, though.
Right?
I thought that's like a really good joke.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, no,
like,
seriously, hilarious. Like, you probably got a lot of like
it's situational.
So I think if you like, you got to say it like, yeah, like it's got to come out smooth, like
yeah,
fucking. I don't know. Judging by the group we have here, I think we should keep all the windows
but
closed.
I think they
or some shit like that. It's got to come off like really smooth, right? And that'd be hilarious. But like they probably
They took it
to heart.
They took it to heart in the sense of like, oh, is he calling us losers, or is he calling us this, or is he
kind of?
I meant like
in a joking way.
In a joking way.
All,
this is comedy. What do you want from me, dude? I'm here. You know, like I was off of work an hour before, like an hour ago. I could have gone home. I could, you know, like what the fuck? I could have thought all these things in my head, you know, and just like why not? But
that's another good day, right?
Did that fuck you up though? Like right in the beginning, where you're like, oh,
no, hell no, I fucking steamrolled through that. Okay. You know, like I said, I was feeling myself a little bit. So like, yeah. So I said that, and then like it went silent, and then the room just went silent. Like, and it just like immediate, like I said, the AC was broken, and I just felt the temperature of the room just increase by like 10 degrees. I was like,
yeah, fuck yeah. You started sweating.
Yeah,
you get like
bad.
Those. You're like, oh, it's like it's dripping, but it's not. It's just like your body is crawling.
Yeah, it, like I felt my skin kind of like start trying to like leave, you know.
Well, now I have to do this whole.
But yeah, but I still have 3.5 minutes left to go, right? So like,
oh my god, that's 30 seconds.
That was just 30 seconds, you know.
Most of it was introducing himself.
Yeah, yeah, like that's almost like a one-liner joke, right? Just to kind of like see the room or whatever. So and then I started talking about. I was like, oh, well, like, let me now talk about something that I'm interested in, you know, and that maybe you guys, like, think about every once in a while. But
you're
like,
all jumping out those windows.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah. Double down.
Vertical or horizontal? Like, BetterHelp.com, everyone. BetterHelp.com. But no, yeah, I was talking about like, so I was just like, I want to talk about like classism and and socialism, right? So like where you are societal wise,
okay,
right?
Okay.
And I was like, the best way to get to know someone, in my opinion, and this is also just the premise, so like, you know, hey, Carlos Mencia, I'm seeing you. But this is just the premise of like, you ask your buddy like. Whoever has a car, you like there's multiple questions that you can ask to gauge not the car but the human driving it, right? So you ask what type of car do you drive? What insurance do you have? Did your parents help you pay for the car? And then my favorite is what type of gas do you put in your car? You know?
Yeah.
Because if you put you know Arco or Valero, I know you're getting fast food at 2 p.m. You're eating, you know what I mean?
Okay, like whatever.
Called out, yeah.
But see, that was the thing.
And it might not always be an Arco or Valero.
It's really close to my job, right?
I like the Safeway gas and the Costco gas too.
Yo, but see, this was the reaction. Everyone, I think it's because the setting is in the open mic is like singer, poems, that stuff. Not really comedy. Yeah. And especially not like, I'm gonna fucking talk shit, you know, type of comedy.
Yeah. Well, that's good comedy.
Bro, this set sounds better than your first one, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like it's for the dark humor, I think.
Yeah, that's where I come from, right?
Exactly.
That's my humor. So and then like, okay, so we talked about Valero and Arco
great
and like
in New York. You
need
need to do some New York shit.
I honestly, genuinely surprised myself that I came up with a bit.
Yeah,
you know what
awesome.
I mean? Like, and also like the premise is like the lower, medium, high class of people, right?
Yeah.
So then the next ones are like Shell and 76, right? Mm-hmm. You know, those ones like at least they have a liquor store usually attached to them or a fast food joint, you know, so like at least they're able to be, you know, communal and like all this other stuff, and like they're able to like hold contracts enough like long enough so they can like have a business. But then like the kind of like the douchebags of society, or like
Chevron.
the rich people
I was about to say Chevron.
Is Chevron, right? One, they have the cute ass little mascot, right?
Little talking cars.
Their car washes usually have really cool light shows.
This is true,
you know?
yes.
And my favorite is they have Techron.
Yeah.
Like
Chevron
what is
for
like
Techron.
Extra miles fire too, dude.
What is Techron?
It's supposed to have like there's metals in all of the other gases, and this has less metals or like no metals.
So
in it.
my
It's like
joke,
filtered water.
Oh, okay. See, okay. So that was my joke was like people who use Chevron, and I only use Chevron. First off.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. You know. But people who use Chevron are the types of people who are like, I'm vegan, but we'll do Coke and mushrooms.
That's vegan. I'm just kidding. Wait, Coke isn't very vegan, but mushrooms.
But you know, but like they're like, my body's a temple, but we'll do ketamine and shit like that, you know? And like all this shit, and like they're the ones who will like drink till like 4 a.m. and then drink 2 liquid IVs to get
only
that
like
Tecron in their body. You know what I mean?
Only like a vodka soda though. So
yeah, because we're
no calories.
You think this figure just fucking happens? Nah, you gotta work at it, dude.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Liquid Death.
Yeah. Shout out
Cheers
Liquid Death.
Liquid
Also, I forgot to give a little shout out to them. You guys can go get them at www.liquiddeath.com, your local convenience store, and everything else. They have hella cool swag also. So make sure you guys go to www.liquiddeath.com and check out all their merch. It's fucking sick. Lance, I need a shirt.
Send us some.
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, we fucking love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting the
Liquid Death family.
Yeah, the LD fam. Yeah, shout out to you guys. But yeah, so that was my bit. My bit was like,
I think it's great.
It's
I think if you polish it up, get it tight, cut all the pads, throw extra little punchlines in there, taglines, and all that stuff. That's a solid 5 minutes right there.
Interact
Solid
with
3-4
the
minutes.
audience a little bit too, and be like, well, what do you, the
Right.
first question.
Yeah.
What do you put in your car?
What brand do you put?
Yeah.
But like, see, with me, and I think you guys, because you guys know me, if I start doing crowd work, I'm gonna it's gonna look like I'm bullying people.
I was going to bully you earlier, and I didn't because I was going to bully you. No, because I was going to make a joke.
Crowd work
like, I
is
was
how
going to make a
everyone
joke at you, and I was like, shut up, Ashely. Shut up.
What was your joke?
I don't even remember, but I know it was going to be good. I don't want to do it, though. It's mean.
I don't know if you know this.
Like, you're a little bit kind of mean, Ashely.
I don't know if you know
like
this, but this is the room to be a little mean, you know?
Yeah, this is where we do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is a safe space.
And we get yelled at later when we post the videos.
Oh, my God. You're right. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, dude, like so that was my I'm not even
My bad.
you know, I'm like trying to, but yeah, that was my first time, like my first and second time doing stand up. I think I like putting myself in like awkward position, like situations.
It's like it's working under pressure. I know very few people that like to do it, but I love doing it. Like when I do hair, I don't like to know what I like to know that I have all the colors that I need, but I don't necessarily like to know what I'm going to do until I get to work and I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing that today.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fucking dread it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to dread it, and I don't want to be like over analyzing or like looking up online like, oh, should I do it this way or this way? I want to look at the client, see their hair, and do it the way that's going to look good on them.
Right. I think that's what, like, we did this little BTS between, like, you know, we do talk about what topics we're going to talk about and blah, blah, and what we're going to bring up.
A little bit.
Brief each other.
But this time, like, it was very much like, do you have topics? Do you have things? Do you have things? Okay, cool. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and then, like, I like, more so for, like, the genuine reaction.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I like that. It's the same way with you, what you do with hair. Like, you don't want to come with like any pre-existing ideas because you also don't know what your client wants.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be shut down or something.
Right. Like, you know, you're coloring hair, you're cutting hair or whatever, but you don't want to be like already being like, I'm going to do a bob or like, I'm going to do this or like, I don't know why you would do a bob, but like, you know.
I just know. Today, a client showed me a picture of a bob and I was like, oh, so we're doing a bob. And she was like, no, I wanted to hear. And I was like, why are you showing me a picture?
Dude, yeah. People are dumb.
Dude. Yeah.
Like, okay, like I work in customer service, so like literally, and I work in downtown Mountain View, so like.
Customer service for one, though, dude, is just like, God.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're like a tattoo artist at that point, right? You know, like but you're also on commission at that point. Not commission. Yeah, commission, right? Like where they have to request you.
Yeah.
In a sense,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I have to be requested at work.
But like, because I work in customer service and because I work in Mountain View, home of Google, home of all these fucking techies, and the place that I work.
You have lots of regulars, don't you?
I have hella regulars. They're all super cool. The regulars are super cool, but it's like the randoms who are there for like a week, right? Who come into Red Rock because they heard such and such company started here or this startup started here and blah blah blah.
Whoop-de-doo,
yeah, so like they and like it was on Silicon Valley and like all these things. So people come in and like a frequent question that people ask, which irritates the fuck out of me is, do you have a hot chocolate with espresso in it? And I'm like, bitch, you mean mocha? Like, do we have a mocha? Yes, it's on the board.
No.
Like, for you, no. You're getting a hot chocolate because you're acting like a child.
That's how I would be. You know? I couldn't do that.
I forgot that was a thing that people used to ask.
Yeah. Like, do you have hot chocolate, but can you put coffee in it? I was like, what do you...
Mocha,
yeah, dude, grow up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you still order Shirley Temples with alcohol in it? Like, is that how you order things?
I like dirty Shirley's.
No. That's fine.
That's how you order it.
That's fine. But like, you don't go up to them and be like, I really like this drink. Can you put this? And it was like, yeah, you're an adult, right? You know you can do these things. Yeah. Like, it's not.
Okay, see, that's how I am with, like, everybody. I think I'm like that because I was raised by a man, right? Mm-hmm. As I said before, he was in the punk skater crew in San Jose, and he was a single father the whole time we grew up. And then I also just have had all men friends. Like, yeah, I have groups of girlfriends that I hang out with, but it's like mainly guys.
Yeah,
and we all
like
just punk each other though. So how are you like that? It's so weird because I punk everybody. I'm just an asshole.
Just because I grew up with mostly females doesn't mean that I don't take what guys say to heart, right?
Yeah,
like my uncles, even my dad when he
Does it bother you a lot?
What?
Just like when guys say fucked up things, you know?
No, because no. Okay. Like no, like to me it's just like that's just like.
But you grew up with your dad.
I grew up with him like there.
Okay.
He was there a predominant amount of the time.
Okay.
Before I was like 16, 17. But there was periods where he wasn't living with us or he was sleeping on the couch or like blah 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 and like X, Y, and Z. And plus he always had 2 jobs. I never really got to see him that often. But like for example, like the one like I had my ears pierced and my nose pierced, and then I went to a family function and like they were just like, dude, that's gay as fuck, you know?
Oh yeah.
In Spanish, but they were like, dude, you're, like what's wrong with you? Like you know? And I'm like, dude, you do know that like I'm still out here fucking, right? Like
they don't know that.
I know, but it's just like I have to like what do you want? Do you want me to show you a video of a girl? Like you know, like what do you want?
What do you want from me?
Like dude, like I like
let me be myself.
Right. Like just because you kind of threw away your life doesn't mean that I can't express how I want to be, you know?
That's what hella pisses me off about like workplaces and how they're so specific about like what you have to wear and like how your hair has to be and this and fucking that. And it's like, why don't you let everybody show who the fuck they are?
Yeah. I feel that, but also...
Okay, wait, I'm not talking like a Google perspective, like a techie where everyone's wearing fucking
whatever
Crocs and chanclas and shorts, but you go on.
But like with me, right, I've worked at places, at restaurants, right, where you can wear whatever you want as long as it's black. Or like things like that. But like my thing is just like, my thing is because I'm a team guy. I like being part of a team, something that's bigger than one individual.
Well, is it that it makes you feel like you're a part of that team?
A part of a unit.
Because you're all wearing black?
Well, one, like, I literally took off my work shirt.
Yes.
That's our uniform. I can wear whatever pants I want, whatever shoes I want. As long as I have my work shirt, then we're good. Mm-hmm. And they don't tell me anything. I don't have to put my hair up. I don't have to do anything. I probably should. But like, you know.
Ew, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, if you want a latte extra dandy, let's go. Like, you know, but like it's one of those things where it kind of like it unifies people, like not just it unifies people, but it also like I'm a victim of like trying to create a fam. You know, so it doesn't create a hierarchy. There's not like, I mean, with us, like our supervisors, they can wear whatever they want. Yeah. But everyone else has to wear.
That's fucked up.
It is, but also it's just like, cool. Then I know, and so do the customers know who the fuck to talk to.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Right. The same way that in soccer, everyone's wearing the same uniform, but the captain has a fucking band right here. Okay. In the sense of like, the same way that the military has fucking stripes and you know, all these other things. And it's just to kind of like signify like we're part of this thing. But I
guess I've never thought about it that way because I always get pissed off. Like when I was in school, I went to Paul Mitchell schools, which not my favorite.
Right.
Whatever. They're very particular about like you having to learn their way But we all had to wear black and white. That's it. Usually just black though, because like a lot of time we would wear white and they would get like annoyed with it. But you know, it couldn't be like spaghetti strap, which I get because like I've seen things about like girls lifting their armpits up and like putting too much deodorant on and like shit falling off.
But I don't think that like that isn't the reason why. Because there's like horny
like,
dudes.
Oh well, yeah, but you know, like okay,
that's...
but you're telling me that like okay, there's gonna be a horny dude sitting in my chair and I'm gonna be washing his hair and like
okay, you're talking about work. I was talking about school.
Well, that's school too because we had like clinical time where we would be doing clients and like have to have this whole. It was a whole service that they would have.
Right.
You know, the same thing with work is that it's so annoying that we have to wear black and white and like it's just so annoying. I just feel like we should be able to be who we are. Sure. And I feel like in my specific job, I do so many high clientele that if they see me with like colored hair and this and that, I feel like I'd get a little bit judged.
Yeah, for sure.
And it sucks because I love doing colored hair, but a lot of the people that I do are like blondes and like I'm doing a lot of root touch-ups and a lot of like haircut wise I do like all kinds of shit.
Right.
But like
so you understand that your aesthetic has some judgment, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Right? Like you as an individual, right? Mm-hmm. So and then when you're trying to be a part of a company, a team, whatever, conglomerate, whatever you want to call it, there's certain parameters, right? The same way that like if you buy a house, you might be part of an HOA.
Fuck that.
Sure. Then don't live there, you know?
Yeah.
Don't work there, you know? Like, but then now sometimes it's easier to just like bite your tongue and just do something in order to gain experience or gain a clientele list at least. So, and then you can, you know, maybe move on in a year or two. And that's totally fine. But like,
I still feel like I would stay there though. Like I've been there for like 6 years, but I wore this to work today. But if that's
not black or white.
No, but I just fucking walked in with it. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I was like so done, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with what I'm wearing, right? And I feel like no one's
saying that like what you're wearing is wrong, but
no one is saying like none of you guys, right? None of the clients at all, right? Not even people that work at the spa, but like my old managers, the old owners. If I wore something that they didn't like, I'd walk in and they'd be like, you know, they'd look at me like, get out. Like, get out right away. Yeah. Even though, like, I have a client and I'm paying for that chair to, like, be able to do my client.
Because, you pay rent and something.
Yeah, you know? Rent or you pay.
But you're part of an HOA. You're part of an HOA.
Yeah, but, like, an illegal HOA, man.
No, because you signed the contract. You signed the contract. You said these are the stipulations that they want and need from you as an employee. You're maybe not a W-9.
No, 1099. Yeah.
Which means you're an independent contractor.
They shouldn't be able to tell me that.
Sure.
So I didn't sign a contract saying that I could.
But how many wedding DJs do you know? Or like if you know any wedding DJs, sometimes the bride, groom, whatever, is like, I want you to wear this color, I want you to do this, I want you to play this.
Yeah.
You're on their time.
Totally.
You know? And then like it's fucked up. It's fucked up. The world's fucked up, everyone. You know?
But I will say about that specifically is that like one time I was in Santa Cruz and I saw a wedding DJ. Homie was wearing like a white shirt, button up, and then he turns around and there's like this big ass red dragon. And then wrapped around his leg.
You gotta do it, like, you know, like I'm sure if you wore black and white, but then you had tattoos.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't say anything, right? Because they already hired you, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But also, that's the same thing as you being like, I want to wear whatever I want. I want to show off my tattoos. Back in the day, that used to be the thing. It was just like, well, I have tattoos. I don't think I can work there. Or I always have to wear button-ups. Or I always have to cover it up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, even now, it's like colored hair and stuff. Like, I can have colored hair. I can do all of that kind of stuff.
It wasn't until recent that people weren't not like, it wasn't until recent, like, maybe within the last, like, 10, 15 years that they passed a law where you can't fire someone based on their hair.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, like, it's redlining. That's what it is. It's overall redlining of being, like, I don't want black people, you know, in this, for that example, to work here. So it's just like, if I put this stipulation of being like, oh, you can't have braids. You can't, you know, you can't you can't have dreads. You can't do this, and it's just like, well, that's so racist, and it is racist.
It is.
It's attacking a specific person.
Straight up.
You know, I don't have nappy hair. I can't do dreads. I can't, you know, unless I go, you know, want to be white guy.
Oh, we can do dreads.
And not share and not no, I know, unless I don't want to wash my hair though. You know, like
no, they wash their hair, but like. Different. Oh, is it really? So different. Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah. So it's just like things like that, where it's just like things are moving forward in a positive way, but like we can't.
Well, because of social media, like people are bringing it to the attention
I mean, just for
of others.
Socially in general, you know, like that's not weird. Like it used to be taboo on porn to have like a tiny white girl and a big black guy. You know, but really? I didn't know. That used to be taboo, but now that's almost like regular. So it's just like, yeah.
Is it really?
Go on Pornhub right now. I guarantee you, there's gonna be a big ass black cock and a white girl.
Lean of the plug in that.
You know,
oh my god.
Pornhub fucking sponsor the podcast. Yeah. But yeah, it's just shit like that. Where it's like you can't really you even with YouTube, right? Yeah. I can't say certain shit. But I want to be on the block. I have to play by their rules. I can't say, sure. I have to say unalive. I can't say the F word. I have to say gay or, you know, like whatever. And even if I'm saying a story.
Talking about fuck. I was like, you can't say
fuck. No. But like, you know, like even if I'm saying a story about myself and like blah, 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 like I can't say that. And because we'll get
you can't even call yourself one?
Nah.
That's hate, dude.
Yeah.
And that's a real F word right now, dude.
Yeah, dude. And you know, and that's
I am so confused. I am Confucia.
Yeah, so YouTube, stop being homophobic and let me use the F word, bro.
Okay, Jesus.
I'm saying giving examples of like how we can get away with it. Yeah, exactly.
That's how you say a cigarette.
Yeah, this isn't in San Jose. This is in fucking
straight up,
London.
Thank you. We're in London.
Yeah, this is just the lingo we use.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love when people say cheers.
I say cheers all the time.
Or when they hug me and they're like, okay, bye, honey. And I'm
that's
cheers.
That's too European.
No, I love that.
Cheers is fun.
I didn't get any of that in Europe.
Really?
I didn't get any of that. There was a lot of like...
Oh, yeah, the races.
Straight up. Straight up.
No, yeah,
I am a little European, too. A lot.
You're a little European?
I'm part French and Italian.
Damn. Did you take your 23andMe?
No. You know, those are kind of bullshit. The more people that do them, the more accurate it gets.
At one point, the fastest guy in the world was only because someone was timing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so exactly.
So now that everyone is now that the events are everywhere and anywhere, anyone can be the fastest person in the world. The same way that what you were saying of like how, what were you saying? Dude,
a brain fart.
I had
Do you have mom brain?
Dude, no, I have just dumb brain.
No,
that Oh no.
Oh man,
I have mom brain.
Yeah.
I do. Do you know?
I smoked, guys. You guys didn't.
But anyways, but just to say, with the 23andMe thing, right? The more data that there is, the more accurate it's gonna be.
Yes.
Right?
There we go.
The same way that like early on with the 23andMe thing, it was really fun, I think, for the first couple of years for Black people, African Americans specifically, not just Black people in the world, but African Americans, so that they can trace back to what specific country they were.
That's true.
You know, so like that aspect is really cool.
I'm gonna tell you what another aspect was, that there were like a lot of white people that were like, I'm like 1% Black, so I can say the N-word.
Right.
Like, bitch, check it now.
Yeah.
Check it now. It's like negative 3%.
Down.
Yeah.
The more people do it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But and it's one of those things where it's like, you need more data, you need more experiences. The more experiences you have, the more it changes, right? And that's with anything, and that's just life in general.
Oh my God, the more experiences you have, the more humble you become. I want to
do one. I feel like I'm such a mutt.
Really?
I know my grandpa's from like England or some shit like that.
Really?
Because then he went to Honduras, and then that's how like my whole family was like.
What? Your grandpa was in England first and then moved on?
Yeah, that's what her last name's Talbot. It's like a German or English last name, Talbot.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
That's why every time I say my last name, they're just like, what the hell, Talbot? Like,
that's crazy. That's actually.
So I want to know exactly where it is, but like, even if they're not that accurate,
check it out.
It should be decently accurate.
I don't mean to be an ass. Maybe it is more accurate now.
Yeah, maybe. I've never
I think because once you pay for it that one time, you can continue to check it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the only reason
is continuously changing.
Yeah. It changes, like it updates, and all of a sudden maybe like a sibling or a far or long distance cousin.
I have the fucking story about that. Oh my God! I had this client come in. I met her at a party. She was super cool, super cool, and we were just talking about 23andMe, and I did tell her, I was like, that's a little bit bullshit, and she was like, yeah. But then I got a message from somebody, and this girl was like, you have the same last name as me, and like, let me send you a picture. Mm-hmm. She sends a picture, and they look like crazy similar. And she's like, wow, you look a lot like my dad. That's so crazy. Like, there's no way this could be real, though. There's no way this could be real. And then she goes and asks her dad about it, and her dad like gave her the silent treatment for like months. Finally, she like knocked on his door and was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you gave me the silent treatment, I know something happened.
Right.
And he had to admit to her, like, I cheated on your mom, and we did give the baby up for adoption. And now her and the girl that hit her up are like best friends. They're sisters.
Yeah.
They ended up being sisters.
Right.
But
so
he
cool.
didn't. Yes, but the mom never knew about it, and the mom and him were still married, so they got divorced and shit.
That's my thing with the 23andMe thing. You know what I mean? Like, nothing now is kept a secret. Nothing. Right? The same like with the 23andMe thing. Like how many reports of like
feel good story just got all dark at the end.
Yeah. I was just like, I thought it was gonna be a positive
thing. She found
like,
your sister. Your parents are divorced.
Yeah. Yikes. But fucking the same. I mean, to kind of keep it on like the dark shit. But like, how many? Like,
let's keep it going. Let's go.
Like murderers have been found because of 23andMe.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Because
I didn't
of
even think about that.
Blood, and it's in the system. You're in the system. You're not like it's not like a like. It's not like 23andMe isn't selling your data and things like that. And that's like a whole other conversation is data mining and all this other shit and like how to like blah, blah, blah. And I think personally, going back to the individualist conversation that we were having earlier of like, we should be allowed to sell our data.
Yeah,
as
I would
individuals,
love to sell
right?
my own data and
because
make
I
money
think from what I hear, like from the political aspect of everything, I hear that they're gonna start doing the same way that certain companies have like a carbon emission tax. They're gonna start doing that individually.
You know, that's why iPhone changed their you don't get a charger with your iPhone or your. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah. So and it's also for them to like hustle everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're making so much more money.
Yeah, you pay $1,000 plus for a phone, but then you'll have to pay $40 for a charger to use the phone. Did they get in
trouble about the port too? They had to switch it to the USB-C, right?
Yes, they did because in England,
they kept trying to switch
it
to make their own.
Yeah,
charging people extra and shit. For their own chargers.
They got sued in Europe.
Yeah.
And they decided, we're gonna have to go ahead and do this for everybody.
But also, I didn't know that iPhones were like 8 to 12% of the market of the entire world, but Motorola and
Nokia,
like those companies, the like Google companies, they're like 80%.
Because they've been around for a lot longer.
Well, not just that, but like it's not.
In like third world countries, they're not walking around with iPhones.
Yeah, they're not walking.
Yeah,
they're just
Motorola,
most people
like that,
don't just have fucking 4G everywhere, 5G.
So it's older phones.
So like they're still using like fucking brick phones.
Straight up, I saw a lot of that in Europe, which is crazy because they have a lot of their shit down.
Yeah,
Like
of course, but they like That's another argument. Like fucking dude, no. Like my thing of like
America,
like no,
America.
dude, like dude, no. I hate the fact that people are always just like, oh, your country, like the U.S. is like a piece of shit and blah blah blah, all this shit. Well, like yes, we are pieces of shit, but we're in our like teenage phase of being a country. We're 250 years old.
This is so true because the French people look at us and they're like, you guys are fucking children, you guys are idiots, and it's like, how long have you been around?
Dude, since Da Vinci,
they can't even fight their own wars.
Name another person. Yo, fucking remix the baguette. Us, you know, like fucking give me a croissant. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, dude,
croissants are good.
Dude, they're hella good. They're hella flaky and blah blah blah.
Oh my god.
Blah, you know,
no, but, a fucking baguette,
I had a chocolate croissant last night.
But it's just like no, but like seriously, like people always like talk shit about the U.S. and like even people from the U.S. Especially those who were born here, talk shit about their own country rather than trying to make it better.
I talk shit.
And like that's what pisses me off, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? Because I wasn't born here, so it's just
But that's a big issue that we have is that there's people that come here that are not from here that do a way better job at their job, at keeping it clean over here, at being good fucking humans, and that there's people from America that are like, why are they here?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you do it the right way, you do it the right way, and that's cool, and blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. I get it. You know, everyone get your visas, whatever. But...
Well, I'm not even saying that.
But my thing is just like, with certain Americans, not even to say a race, because I know so many Latinos that, like, hate on immigrants in general.
So do I.
Because of like... I think it's because like how we're taught, right? The people who are coming into the country still have this American dream reality versus the people who live here. They're watching their parents struggle and being like, "What the fuck? We can't even pay rent." You know. Yeah. So people are like, "This is a failed state," and da 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 da, and X, Y, and Z, and and all this shit. But I'm like, dude, you're not doing anything to make it better. You're not doing anything to make it better for yourself.
Yeah, but is there really education for them to know how to try and make it better?
We have the internet. I don't give a fuck about education.
Yeah, but look at these kids that are in... This is a big issue, right? Especially... Not California. California, the people that live here are a different breed. A lot of them are really good people.
A lot of them are also not even from here.
Very true.
You know, they moved here like 3 years ago,
but
4 years ago.
That's the thing, right? Is like we're so diverse, and that's such a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have people in fucking Alabama that don't know shit about shit.
Yeah.
And they don't have any kind of education. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do, but it's like,
yeah,
who are you learning from? You know,
yeah,
right? Like, oh my god, and then I don't know. It just makes me so mad because there's these young kids. They're just turning 18, and then they're voting, and they like. Don't even understand what they're voting on.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of things that we, like here, I feel like so many people here vote and they vote right. But there's people in California.
I don't know. Do you know how many secret Republicans there are in California?
Yeah.
You know like,
you can look them all up online. I know a lot of my friends that are. There's a lot of conversations we just can't fucking have.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like that, to me, education doesn't, like, it matters for sure. 1,010% before I, like, kind of, you know, but it matters. But at the same time, like, I think the reason why it matters for me is because I had a teacher in high school who actually was working with President Obama on the education board, which is the overarching, what are we telling our American students? Mm-hmm. What are we teaching them? And that's a curriculum through and through. That's the baseline, right? So just because you're in Alabama doesn't mean that you don't have the same curriculum that we have. You know?
But I do think that around here, like a lot of people pay for specific curriculum. Like I feel like politics aren't talked about.
But now you're talking about people who are paying for this.
Yeah, like private schools and stuff.
That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about just America, right? Private school is a private corporation. Mm-hmm. The same way that Amazon, Facebook, and all these other things, they move different. They're not allowed to move the same way that a restaurant moves that's on the corner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if you're just a basic business owner, if you're just a basic student, there's a threshold that you're supposed to, you know, overcome. There's what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, there's a bare minimum of like what you
standard.
A standard. There's a standard of what you should know, and that's why we take standardized tests. That's why we do these things. You know, and that's in public schools, of course.
Yeah.
But if you were in a private school, let's just say for your throughout elementary, and then once you get into middle school, they're like, this kid's kind of dumb. Like, I don't care about your money because I'll just get someone else who's actually richer and I can tax them even more. And they are now forced to be here, you know? And like, that's the difference. That's my thing. Like, I don't like when people are always just like, yeah, but what about the 1%? And like, da-da-da. I was like, cool, but what are the 99 doing?
Yeah.
Like, if we're just fucking... Fuck them. Like, we're never gonna win. It's like, dude, no. But, like, if we all fucking reach, hold our hands, and fucking...
That's what sucks is that there's so many people like that. There's so many people that are like, what are we gonna do? We can't do anything about it.
Yeah. My thing... If you have that mentality for something like the aliens coming, I 100% agree with you. What are we gonna do? You know?
Fucking die. Like, we're gonna get our faces eaten.
My game plan... my game plan is just to fucking... tap them up and be like, yo, what's up, homie? They called me an alien also when I came here, you know? Like,
we're in the same boat.
Yeah, you know, like, just shit like that. Like, and that's my game plan. I don't have weapons. I don't have strategy. I'm not smart. I don't know where they came from, you know? Like, that's not for me to, like, understand.
Yes.
It's just for me to deal with.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah. That was a weird tangent.
Speaking of aliens, zombie apocalypse right now, if it happened, what would you do?
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right
dead
now.
ass? Mm-hmm. First thing I do is I go to Walmart and I just steal all the baby formula.
We're on the fucking east side.
Okay. Oh, dude, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where I'm at.
Walmart and still, wait, baby formula?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
KKK?
My thing.
Dude, yeah, you gotta hit the closest grocery market.
Yeah.
Sure, and
get
stock up whatever
baby
you can.
formula, bullets, and then hoard all that. And then if you want to trade, if you want to feed your kid, guess what? Tax.
I'm all good.
I'm gonna grow weed and I'm gonna trade weed.
Girls have it. Oh, dude, I've never even really thought
I have
about
a bunch
it as
of
girl.
seeds in my room.
Like, you know,
weed.
Yeah, just shit like that. Like, you have to like come up with like zombie apocalypse.
You guys are in the wrong here. I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me
listen
what
to
plan?
this. I am so disappointed right now.
Where are you gonna go hide?
Excuse me. His brother is in the other room, and he's already a zombie.
Okay.
We're stuck in here.
Okay.
We're stuck in here. We're
Okay.
gonna have to crawl out the motherfucking window. How are you gonna crawl out the motherfucking window when we're on the east side and it is like the most heavily populated area in San Jose? You gotta cover your limbs so you don't get bit. Okay?
Yeah.
Where's your fucking...
We got foam in there, dude.
Yeah, there we go.
We got all kinds
there
of
we
foam
go.
in there. We cover all our limbs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's that. Also, like, dude,
He's like, wait a second.
not gonna lie, like, if I jump out this window,
getting me all
my
into
car's
this.
right there. I'm jumping in my car and just mauling through.
Where though?
everyone.
But like, you see all these things. Planes crash. Fucking like people are stopped. We're on the east side, man.
Yeah, I feel it. I mean,
Like,
San Jose is 1 million plus people.
But
you know?
I'm telling, the first thing you're doing, the first thing we're all doing, is wrapping our limbs up so we don't get bit. You got to do it. You know.
I feel it. I honestly,
I'm protecting you guys.
I like that.
Okay.
That's like the mom side of it, right? We're just like, we're going to the beach. Put on sunscreen, you know? Like, but like me, I'm like, I need to bring my shovel. I need to bring my buckets. I'm going to make the best sandcastle.
Yeah, dude.
You know, like that's what I'm thinking. You're
Get your
thinking
machete.
yeah, you know?
My machete.
You know, like,
Machete.
for me, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck what wave comes. I'm going to be able to block it, right? Like, that's just a dumb guy mentality
No,
of being.
you have to cover your body. This is what I tell everyone.
Yeah.
I always ask everybody that, like, periodically. I'm like, zombie apocalypse. Right
Yeah.
now.
Mine is like more like a long term.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. And I'll tell you, Walmart doesn't always have baby formula, and it usually is locked up. So
Oh no, a little
just
glass.
So you know.
There's
But I'm just
zombies out there.
saying, I'm
I'll
just
fucking
saying.
break a glass because zombies are
Have
out.
you seen Zombieland? Everyone's
Yeah.
running around. There's zombies in the stores.
Yeah, and guess what? There's booby traps also in the store. Right?
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
You know,
There
hey,
are-
I've seen
there are.
Zombieland. If you want to bring it up,
I
you know,
really
like-
love that movie.
I love that.
I
movie.
love it. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
It's not Michael. What is that actor's name? He's not Michael Cera. It's the other guy. The other Michael Cera.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
the
was like,
other.
it
It's
is.
the other one.
The other one, yeah, they're almost exactly the same. It seems like.
Oh my god.
They're the same. They're the same type of actor. The same way that like.
No, I like Miles Cera better.
Michael Cera. Yeah,
like
for sure.
He is a character,
no,
straight up.
Sure.
As you were saying that earlier, I was totally recognizing, like, he's definitely a character because in every movie he's been, like, This Is the End. Have you seen that one? Mm-hmm. He's totally the same when he, like, smacks around his ass.
Yeah. Like, and then Rihanna slaps the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But with that, right? Oh, fuck. Like, I need to have a group. I need to know who's my who's my 3 people that I can count on.
Who are going to live past this? Who's gonna
do it?
Yeah.
Because for me, I know my hideout. I know my hideout has guns, has bullets, and all this other stuff. I know where I'm going, you know, and it's underground. Shout out. But like,
he's not gonna shout them out.
Yeah, no, hell no. Yeah. Find your own fucking hole.
Find your own hole.
But yeah, it's just like it's especially after the pandemic, I definitely like thought about like what are my escape plans. I do this all the time. We talked about it last 2 episodes ago when I was talking about how I would sleep over at my boy's house, get picked up on my youth group counselor, and then go to my soccer games in order to make everyone happy. But that's mostly me figuring out my exit strategy in order to always be in the clear. So that's the way I think, right?
Yeah.
Like
I used to think like that.
For me, it's just like, dude, I need to be good first in order for me to protect everyone else.
Yeah.
If I'm not good, then no one else is good, and I know that.
That's crazy because like I can drink and like almost black out, but then once I need to like get the fuck up and do what I need to do, I'm sober again. Yeah. And then after, it hits me again. But like there is that period where if I have to be sober, I will be sober. Yeah. Which is crazy.
I mean, yeah, it happens. It's like that. The mom thing, where it's just like, oh, I need to be here. I hear the cry. The cry is like nope.
Well, what's weird is that it's not just a mom thing because I've always been like that.
But you don't think that it's a maternal thing that females have in general?
No.
Because you're the only person I've ever had these zombie conversations about who are like, protect yourself. Everyone else is like, I'm going to a high rise, I'm going to this, I'm going to that, I'm going to do this.
What?
I'm going to
a high rise? Okay, we're going to have some people on the podcast so that we could talk about this.
Yeah, people are going to die, dude. People
straight
die.
Up. You're not going. Do not go with the high rise person.
People die.
I'm going to ask every single person that comes on the podcast, what's your zombie apocalypse?
Zombie apocalypse, and do you believe in ghosts?
Do you believe in ghosts?
Hell yeah. Dude, my sister's possessed. No offense.
My sister was too. She fucking choked me out one time.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy.
I think she just hated you.
No, we were literally asking her today. I was like, do you remember that? And she's like, no, I literally don't remember. Because we're talking about ghosts. I have lots of ghost stories.
Yeah. What's your favorite ghost story?
My favorite one?
That happened to you.
I don't know if I have a favorite one, but...
Well, I mean, not favorite, but like the one that pops up.
The one that I'm thinking of right now is... So I live downtown San Jose. And we always used to walk to, well, I mean, we still do, iguanas, or like, I think this time we were specifically walking to La Vix. And I don't know if you know the Grad right there. It's a fairly new building, but we've lived there for like 4.5 years, almost 5 years now. And when it was being built, they have they cover the sidewalk. Yeah. They pull it out into the street and then they cover it. So it's completely covered for like more than half of the block, right? So my husband and I are walking through it and we're talking, we're holding hands. Okay. And you know how it's like, just say gay. when you're like, you're walking through that and someone else is coming towards you, you have to move over. Right. So both of us can hear, like, we see someone in front of us walking, and I can hear someone walking behind me, and it's like, you hear big, it sounded like docks. Someone's wearing docks, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, here, as they approach me, I can feel their footsteps underneath my feet, and I was like, I tap Jacob on the butt, and I'm like, scoot over, so we both scoot over, and I can hear the keys. And the guy just starts fucking running. And, like, I turn around and I look at him. I look him up and down. And, like, he's wearing, like, a plaid shirt. And I can see his backpack on. And he has, like, some keys here. And he has some glasses on. And, like, I didn't even notice his feet. I didn't fucking see his feet. And I can feel him, like, I move over and he, like, runs past us. And Jacob and I are, like, facing each other because we're, like, fucking kissing and shit. But, like, the other person was still over here, and Jacob never saw the person pass me, but he felt it.
Yeah.
And I kind of stood there and was like, what the fuck? Because I did not see him pass me. I just felt the air. And, like, I'm looking, and I was like, did that guy just, like, we're standing here looking, and the guy's not there because I can see where he was. And Jacob, like, looked around and was like, where did he go? And I was like, wait, you saw him too? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, no, I was like, did you see him too? He was like, no, I didn't see him, but I felt somebody there. And I was like, well, you didn't see anybody? He's like, no, I didn't see anyone. And I'm like, who the fuck was that? And where did they go? Because there's no way that he could have turned around and ran back the opposite way in under 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And there's no way that, like, he passed us without this person here seeing him and, like, you seeing him. Like, where did he go? And I just felt, like, sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was someone was still there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I could feel, like, these tingles in my body, and I was just, like, looking for someone. I couldn't find anyone there. Everything was covered. He couldn't, like, hop over the fence because there was no fence to hop over. And I was just tripping. And everyone who knows me is, like, a bitch is never quiet.
Yeah.
I was quiet for, like, an hour after that because I was just really trying to, like, I was like, where the fuck did he go? What just happened? Like, who was that? And then I realized that he had no fucking legs.
Yeah.
He had no legs, and I could feel his feet underneath my feet.
That's crazy.
And then me and Jacob, for, like, the next week after that, we were, like, tripping. But then after that, you know, if you ever have, like, some sort of, like, encounter with a ghost, like, you tend to, like, kind of forget it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then things, like, pop up, and you're like, oh, my God, that one time.
Yeah.
Which is way trippier.
I think that's true. I was going to say, I was exactly going to say that. I think that's just the human mind.
The human mind will control alt delete.
To
trick you, like, yo, let's forget about that. You don't need that.
Yeah. But it's also the same thing with, like, childbirth. Women, our minds are designed to forget how painful childbirth and labor is so that we'll do it again. It's like a human instinct type thing.
Right.
Which is like, what else are we fucking forgetting?
A lot.
It's ridiculous.
Why do you think I go to therapy? I go to therapy for that exact reason. Dude, I've had, like, there was, like, a good, like, maybe 8 years that, like, I completely, like, just blocked off. Or I remembered it differently on purpose.
Yeah.
In order for me to either save face for myself, save face for someone else, and or just deal with something that, like, has affected me.
It's either that or you're, like, laughing about, like, fucked up shit.
Yeah, that's how I deal with all my shit. Yeah. All my shit is always just, like...
a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke because, like, for me, if it's lighthearted, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the moment that, like, all of a sudden we're being serious, then I'm like, oh, shit. Like, we got...
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. Like, I brought it up with my sister and my mom, right?
Yeah.
I'm the jokey, fun, like, whatever. And I'll get in trouble and, like... But it's only when I get in trouble, then it becomes serious.
Yeah.
But until then, like, it's all LOLs. It's all, you know, all this
I
shit.
get in trouble because I make jokes of everything.
Yeah.
Like, my dad will get hella pissed off at me. He'll be like, why the fuck did you just say that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I don't know, because, like, you did that. You know?
Yeah.
What do you mean? No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just a coping mechanism that, like, humans do, regardless if you're aware of it or not.
It's natural, for sure. I think it's natural. I hope it is.
Yeah, for sure. Why do you think everyone goes... I mean, not
2
everyone,
shots
but,
of
like...
vodka. Gluck, gluck.
It's tequila. But we're trying to forget, you know. But no, like, okay. Well, with that, right? With the whole concept of trying to forget and everything. Like, with me... There's been certain situations in my life where, like, I talk to my homies about it, and I'll say it a different way. Then I'll talk to my therapist about it, and all of a sudden it's the real way of what happened.
Yeah.
So it also kind of depends situational wise.
Yeah.
Because, like, don't get me wrong, I don't know if I really want to say this out loud.
You don't have to.
It's only fair, I guess. But, like, I've had experiences. I've had experiences.
You don't have to.
I want to, mostly because this is my diary. This is the way that I'm gonna like look back at this. Everyone can look back at this and be like, oh shit, like things happen. But I have like the reason why I'm like hypersexual. I only realized recently, within like the last like year and a half, really. I use like sex and all these other things as like a way of acceptance. But that's because at a young age I was maybe fondled a little bit. I was maybe whatever, molested, whatever. Trigger warning for those. But like whatever, and that was like something that I suppressed so fucking hard that like telling a story about the actual act, I changed the person in my head and made it to be a complete no one. It's like this is just a person, right? Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, I was making out with this person at 8 years old. I was doing this at like da 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 da, and it's just like, oh wait, but I know the like it wasn't until me going to therapy that I'm like, oh fuck, actually, I can pinpoint the location. I can pinpoint the person. I still have them on Facebook, like all this shit, Yeah. And it's just like, those are things that like, like you mentally suppress.
And then when they come up, they feel like dreams.
They feel like the reality almost doesn't even feel real. Yeah. It's just like, that wouldn't happen to me. Yeah. The same way that the ghost situation, right? The ghost situation is just like, you suppressed it almost because you didn't get any answers. Yeah. You suppressed it because you don't know why or what that was. So your brain was just like, fuck it. Then.
And you also, there's things like that you don't want to like blame yourself. And Jesus Christ, there are so many things that you could think of. Like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Like, I think that happened with my sister when it came to the ghost that we were seeing when we were like on 4th Street. She was telling me today, she saw ghosts and stuff like that, and she remembers seeing like this little girl that would wear her pants, and she said that she thinks that she would wear them because like she knew that my sister didn't like that she would wear them. And I was like, so if you remember that, how come you don't remember like straight up strangling me? Yeah. She's like, I don't remember that. Yeah. And I was like, that definitely didn't feel like a dream to me. Like that was some real shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what the brain does. The brain is so fucking amazing. Like, honestly, like...
It's in our favor,
It's our brain. Yeah. It's our brain. Like, every individual... I think that's the name of the podcast, is Individualism.
Yeah, there we go.
But, like, every individual has
a little individual.
Like, has a different, like, perspective, has a different way of dealing with things, have a different way of experiencing things, You only see the world through your eyes. Yeah. But once it goes through your eyes, it goes through your head. And then in your head, that's where the reality is, right? And that's the part that, like, people either try to overcome with going to therapy, hypnosis, whatever it is, right? Like all these things, right? Of being like, I want to remember the reality of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's like a therapy, what's the word? Like tool, I guess, where it's like DRE or some shit like that. Like they force you to like if you're scared of heights, jump off a plane.
Hell motherfucking no.
But like things like that, it's like you need to like
what is that called? I know what you're talking about though.
But it's like it's like one of those things where you almost have to deal with something head on, even if it's not the real issue, right? Like whether that, like with me, I need to slow down on having sex. Okay. In order for me to deal with like actual shit. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been trying to do as of late. Mostly the last like 2 years is like really like pay attention as to like, oh, these experiences are not just yours. Yeah. These are things that we talk about. These are things that happen to me as well. Just because, for example, one time we were doing the mile run in elementary school, right? One of my better friends in elementary school, he has asthma. And on the 4th lap,
I feel it.
On the 4th lap, he started like hyperventilating and everything, right? His cousin runs to him and helps him finish the mile. But he doesn't remember like the three homies that he has run to his backpack, grab his inhaler, and do all these other things. For him, he remembers it as like an achievement. Like, I did this, I did it even while I was like, you know, in so much stress and everything. But he doesn't remember that, like...
I commend him for that. I've been hospitalized because of that.
But, you know, like, it was, like, one of those things where, like, he didn't see the background team, like, help him, right? Yeah. Whether that be his cousin running over him or running to him and being like, dude, let's just, like, I don't want you to feel embarrassed for something that you can't control.
Yeah.
But also, you have homies who are like, fuck, where's this shit? We're running to the classroom. We're doing all this. The teacher has no idea what the fuck is happening, you know? Yeah. But we see everything, and we know him, and we love him. So we're like, oh, let's fucking... we're his SEAL Team 6, you know? We're his rescue team. Yeah. And all this shit. So that... Like, that's something where, like, the brain tricks you, right? Where, like, something where, in my eyes, was his lows, was also, in his eyes, his high. Yeah. You know? And it's like, it's crazy, you know, the way things work and how we interpret things and how we kind of like move forward from that. Because the way that I looked at it was just like, dude, we're fucking superheroes. Yeah. But to him, he's the superhero. Yeah. You know? Yeah, and like, you did finish it. You did finish it even during, like,
you were there?
I was in there.
Dude, that class. Is so nice because I've totally been hospitalized for that.
Yeah. And
like, so bad. Like, twice.
It's
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And, like, also, like, even just, like, with me and my panic attacks sometimes, sometimes I'm
They're debilitating.
Sometimes I'm dead ass alone. Yeah. And it just happens, right? Yeah. And, like, those ones I remember more than when I'm with someone else because I almost can, like, alleviate some of my own, like, someone's taking care of me, like, in my head, right? Yeah. And just things like that. Like, I remember specifically, we were going to my boy's house, and we've already been kind of like drinking or whatever. And like on the Uber ride over there, I turned over to Jelly Christian. I look over him. I'm like, I'm gonna have a panic attack today. I'm gonna have one. And I'm like, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I feel it in my bones.
How do you know that though? Like,
I go to therapy. I do, like, I know my internal self better than I know my external self.
But do you feel like, how do I even explain this? Like, because that's so crazy. There is definitely, like, you can wake up in the morning and be like, fuck this. Like, it doesn't necessarily feel like a bad day, but it's like something in my body. There's like a chemical imbalance, right?
Yeah. You that feel maybe it.
That I asked you and then I kind of answered
right,
it
but that's exactly it.
This is my therapy.
No, good. Hopefully this is other people's therapy too. You know what I mean? And like, literally, it's one of those things where, like, day to day, you don't feel the fucking same. Minute to minute, you don't feel the same. That's why I hate when people are like, I'm in love and like da-da-da-da. I'm like, cool, but do you like him?
Yes.
You know, like, you can love a fucking human. I love my dad, but he's still a piece of shit. You know? Like, that's fine. I can still, those two feelings aren't mutually exclusive. Yeah. There's the same thing, and that's okay. Yes. But you have to deal with it, and you have to, like, be able to, like, articulate how and why you're feeling that way. Or when you're feeling that. You know, like, I don't like it when you do this. I like it when you do this. I hate, or, like, it makes me feel uncomfortable when you start acting out, or whatever it is, right? Boundaries. And it's setting boundaries, knowing yourself, but I think that more importantly, it's the knowing yourself. Yeah. Individualism. Know yourself. Yes. Because you are the only one experiencing what you're experiencing. Yeah. So it's not fair for you to put, like, terms and stipulations on how someone else reacts to the same situation.
Oh God, for any situation.
Right.
Even.
I've been in car crashes. I've been in car crashes where I wasn't the person driving, but it felt like I put the responsibility as if I was the driver. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Versus, and then the people in the back, they're just like, that was so crazy, like, da-da-da-da. Yeah. And they were experiencing it as kind of like the victim. Yeah. Which is fair. Yeah. Because, like, we're all victims in this situation.
Everyone is going to interpret things different ways. Yeah. Everyone is going to have their own, everyone is going to look at something and be like, have a different story for you.
Oh, so speaking on individualism, what would you consider your red flags, and then what are your icks for other people?
My red flags, specifically, like, for my mans, or like when I look at another fucking when I look at other people.
Like, what are your red flags?
Oh, mine specifically.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch.
All right, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
A bitch. I mean, like, I could be mean. I like to be right, but I do know that I'm not always right. Yeah.
I feel that.
And I like to be heard.
I felt that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll hella make fun of people.
Yeah, that's how I'm like that in a lot of ways, in the sense of, like, sometimes I'll play devil's advocate knowing I'm wrong, but I just want to be part of a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, just be like, no, yeah, Donald Trump isn't bad.
He's a fucking great guy.
He's not that bad.
He trumped that election or whatever. Is that how you use that? I don't know.
I think so.
I think I got that right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's hella funny. Because, like, with me, right, like, if I were to say red flags with me, my red flags is, like, commitment. Like, I have a hard time committing to stuff, which is why, like, you see me being a DJ, doing podcasts, and now doing comedy. It's like, oh, I'm just bored. I get bored, and I want to, like, entertain myself.
Yeah.
But with that same token, I do that to almost delete the last thing I did, right? Like, maybe I'm not going to be at Ibiza. Maybe I'm not going to go and, like, DJ these fucking major clubs everywhere. But I've DJ'd New York. Most of you losers haven't, you know? Like, you know? And then to come back that same month and then DJ Sacramento. And then later on DJ Midway. Like, that's, you know? For someone who doesn't have a single song, I already did it. I'm done. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I could be done.
Well,
is
you're
my
happy.
Point. I'm happy.
You could die happy.
I felt like, you know, like, for me, it's like, oh, I can tell my kids, like, guess what Dad did?
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
Hey, you do you. But, like, this is what I did without doing it the proper way, right? Without doing a song, without doing without a label, without a manager, without anything. It's all on me, you know? And I'm tooting my own horn because, like, you have to, right? You have to flex every once in a while in order for you to, like, feel like you're doing something.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because not everyone is going to do that for you.
Right. But
and
that's also...
Why do people hate that so much?
Because it's confidence. Confidence is scary, and it's also annoying because...
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
But that's why. It's intimidating because it's intimidating because no one wants to feel like someone thinks that they're better than you in general.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone wants to be equal, but we're all individuals. You know, we all think a different way and we all act a different way. Some of us are characters, some of us are, you know, some of us are personalities, and some of us are just NPCs, you know, and that's fine.
And some of us are bitches.
Yeah, and that's fine, you know, and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
Yours?
it's one of my red flag would be commitment. That's my red flag.
Okay.
But my icks are, like, with like a female, like, for me it's like it's kind of dumb, but, like, if you, like, wear socks the wrong way, I can't fuck with you.
What do you mean?
Like, dude, if you're wearing
different
white
colors?
socks with, like,
black
a dress
shoes?
and black shoes,
oh, okay,
or, like, something like that, you know, like things where it's just like or like it's the whole, like, not like looking into the details of things, right? Like, shitty tattoos annoy the fuck.
Oh my god.
That's the biggest ick I have, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just like, you put that on your body?
Straight up.
So
well, you don't have tattoos though, do you?
I don't, because I don't.
Yeah.
I have commitment issues.
Yeah, that's.
You know what I mean?
Made me think really hard on that one. I don't have any tattoos because of that, but I'm committed.
Because, like, and then my excuse is when people are like, "You don't have tattoos?" I'm like, "No, it's because it's really hard to find an artist. It's hard to find a person that I trust enough, I care enough to, like, have them on my body for the rest of my life." To me, my tattoo artist is gonna be the same as my baby mama. You're my tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And not everyone has those extremes, which is totally fine. You know, you're an individual once again.
This is okay to think differently.
Yeah, but it's just like that's my red flag. My icks are, like, not the detailed oriented.
Yeah.
Like, I'm big picture. I need you to be details.
That
right?
makes sense.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, hey, this date, this time, you pick the location.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need you to do. But I'm telling you, hey, I'm going to pick you up. Hey, I'm going to do this. Hey, we're going to go do this. I want you to I would like you, not need, would like you to dress this way. We're going out, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But I want you to at least just pick the dinner. I'm going to pay for it at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
That makes sense.
You know? But
That's
I need you to do something, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want you to be a part of the thing that we're doing. It's not, like, for me, the like, some people, like, need someone to take care of everything. I just need you to take care of some of it, and I'll do the rest.
Yeah.
And that's how I am.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, it takes some time to get used to if you're like someone I'm dealing with. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I think it just depends on the person. Like with Jacob and I for a long time would plan like these things that we would go to, right? Jacob would be like, "Oh, I want to go see this artist," and then we would go plan like we went to go see like Mad Decent Block Party. We would go to Disneyland all the time, go to LA, do this, that. Like, let's go to a rooftop bar, and we would always do that. But now, like, as of late, Jacob has been the one to fucking plan those things. And I think, like, it's a very good compromise. You know, one person will do it one time, the other person will do it next time. Like, I think Jacob is... Actually, tomorrow for our anniversary, we're both kind of planning it. But yeah. Hey,
the anniversary episode.
Well, it's 14 and a half.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's, yeah. I mean, once again, we're going to name this the fucking Individualist fucking podcast. This episode has definitely, hopefully, opened up some eyes for people.
Yeah.
And everything, you know? We're going to have way more conversations like this. I feel like, honestly, now that the more that we do this, the more that feel comfortable to ask deeper questions.
Yes.
Which is so nice, honestly. But yeah, do you want to shout out your IG or anything?
Yeah. It's Ashely, that's me, at Instagram.
At Instagram. Not at Gmail.
Or, yes.
But yeah, fucking... You guys can catch me at George.Daniel __. You guys can find all your Meraki stuff on my page.
Make sure you go to liquiddeath.com or freaking Safeway and buy some of that shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And Lance, thank you for the care package. We love you. Shout out to all the Liquid Death family out there. We love and support you guys. And thanks for supporting us. But outside of that, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, everyone. That really helps us out with the algorithm. It helps out. It also makes us, you know, feel like someone's watching.
It makes us feel heard.
Yeah. So once again, we love you guys, and peace.
Thank you.